Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a very fun video. Today we're going to be washing Helga's fleece and I'm going to take you along with me and show you a little bit of a deeper look into how I wash my fleeces and prepare them to be turned into all the lovely things. Today I'm going to be washing Helga's fleece, and Helga is one of my Icelandic babies that was born last spring. This was her lamb fleece and she was sheared at about 7 months old, so she's got some really gorgeous, super soft locks, and I cannot wait to get her washed up and turned into dryer balls. I am doing a few markets coming up and I need to restock on my dryer balls. So this bowl that I'm going to be washing today will be put forth into one of the Christmas markets that I'm doing in the next few weeks, which means I'm getting her washed and then she will have a few days to dry, and then I will be able to card her and felt her into dryer balls by the end of the week. So that is what we're doing today. I have a few more fleeces to wash after Helga's. I am in love with Helga's fleece, and I've had a few questions in regards to how I wash my wool, so I thought, why not show you guys how I wash my wool, because I am in love with Helga's fleece and it's just beautiful. We're gonna do that today, so come along with me. I have Helga's fleece here. She is just under a pound and she is seriously absolutely gorgeous. Helga is more gray in color, which means that she is pretty light at the skin and then she fades a little bit to a brown. Here's Helga. You can see she's very light and then nice brown on the ends. When I wash all my fleeces, I have found that it works easiest to wash them all in mesh laundry bags. You can just buy these off of Amazon. You could also buy them at a grocery store. I found that the mesh bags work really well because it holds the wool together. So instead of putting your wool in a sink or a container, if you put them in the mesh bags, then I find that it tends to keep it more together. The wool doesn't float away or it doesn't go down the drain when you empty out your water, kind of little things like that. They hold a lot of wool in them, so they work really good all in all. Because Helga's fleece is only 0.66 pounds, I believe to be exact, this means that she can fit in one mesh laundry bag. If I have a fleece that is 2 pounds or more, then I tend to separate it into a few bags, just so it gives the wool a little bit more room to kind of breathe, so it's not so tight and compacted into a mesh bag. So you want your wool to have a little bit of room in here so then it can float really well around in the water. It allows the lanolin to really soak out of the wool. We are going to put her whole fleece in this bag because she is so light, and then we will head over to the bathroom and get her into the tub. I'm just kind of shaking her around to get her all loose up in here, and then we will close the bag and she is ready to soak. In terms of water temperature and different soap, I like to aim to have my water around that 140 Fahrenheit. I found that around that temperature works really good for all different breeds, because of course the amount of lanolin that a fleece is going to have will be very dependent on the animal itself. The breed usually plays a factor as well as management, but I just aim around that 140. Of course, it's a little bit hard to be exact all the time, but if you have a thermometer, I highly suggest using that, and then it gives you a good idea. I really suggest when you're first starting out to definitely use a thermometer. It means that it will give you the exact idea. Once you've been washing a few times, you kind of get the idea of you just need to put your hand under the water and you kind of remember what temperature that your water needs to be to wash your wool. In terms of soap, I am familiar with a few different soaps. You can use Dawn dish soap. You can also use Power Scour. Both work really well. I use Dawn dish soap because it is very easy for me to access and I don't have to order it online or anything like that. It works really good for me to get the lanolin out. So big old jug of Blue Dawn dish soap. I use Blue Dawn. I'm sure you could use other soaps, but I know I use Blue Dawn and I know other fiber farmers and fiber artists who use Blue Dawn. So it'd be worth a research to see, but Blue Dawn works really good, so this is the way to go. However, you can use other soaps that are out there as well. Now we are going to get the water running and get some nice water in there, and then we will get Helga's fleece into the tub. Another thing that is really important to note is that you do not need a lot of soap for your water. You only need a little splash. You don't need to make it so there's excessive bubbles in there or anything. It's just a splash, just enough to kind of get a little bit of bubbling going, but not like excessive, because you don't want your wool to like drown in the soap. Okay guys, so water has now been filled in the tub. Now I'm ready to get the fleece in there and soaking. So I'm just gonna plop it in there, and then I'm going to just gently push it in there. I do not want to excessively, I do not want to excessively touch it or agitate it. Agitation means felting, and I of course do not want my fleece to felt. I'm just going to submerge it. Since your water is so hot, you can use a thing like a wind spoon or something to push your fleece into the water. Once it is fully into the water, then you are going to set your timer and let it sit for about 20 minutes. And I leave my string on the outside of the tub so that I do not have to put my hands in the water when it comes time to take my fleece out. While my wool is in the wash, I wanted to just talk about what I use for drying my fleeces and kind of what else is out there that works really good. I've decided to go the route of using a mesh drying rack. They can come in different shelving sizes. I have one that has 4, and I think I have one that has 8. They come in a few different sizes, and you can hang them right from the ceiling. I have a hook in a few different spots in the house. It has a little clip at the top, and then my fleeces can dry on there. So it's a good way that they are tucked out of the way. Has a zipper you can close up, and then they can just sit there. Other great things are if you have extra window screens, you can lay those out or prop them up against something, and you can drape your fleece out like that. You can also use something just as simple as laying out a towel on the floor or on the counter and letting your fleece sit out there. As long as it's in a nice warm spot. If it's in the house and you have a sunny spot, that's also really good. Helga's fleece has been in here for 20 minutes, and this is what we are dealing with. So you can see she's pretty dirty. This is the first wash. I'm going to empty out the tub, refill the tub with water at 140 degrees. I am not going to put any soap in it. And then I'm going to let Helga sit for another 10 minutes. The rinses are only 10 minutes. We're going to rinse her once, and then we will see if she needs a second rinse after. Based off of the fact that the water is dirty but not crazy dirty, I have a feeling that it's going to be pretty clear by the second rinse. You can gently squeeze it, but just don't squeeze it too hard as the water is still really hot. So now I'm going to tie her against the rod for the shower curtain, let her drip, and then refill the tub once this is drained. So just like before, our tub is filled, and we are now going to set this into the water and let it soak for 10 minutes. That is hot. That is why you use a wooden spoon, friends. My hand is really hot. I just like burned my hand a little bit there. This is what we are dealing with after the first rinse, and she is very, very clean. I'm still gonna give her a second rinse just to remove a little bit more. She is very, very clean, which is really good. The water's almost clear, so after another rinse, she'll be that much more clear than she is. So I'm going to empty out the water, fill it up again at 140 degrees with no soap, and we're gonna let it sit for another 10 minutes, and then she should be done and ready to go in the drying rack. This is what is going on with Helga's fleece after the second rinse, and she is nice and clear and ready to be put on the drying rack. Okay, so this is my drying rack. You can see it is full of a bunch of fleeces up on top. We're going to get Helga up onto this lowest drying rack, and then we will let her sit. Okay friends, so she is on the drying rack, and now she will just sit here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any comments or questions, please make sure to leave them down below, and I will try and get back to you as soon as I can. You guys can find me on all social medias at Prairie Shepherdess.